Welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome. This is the Unreal 5.2.1 engine by Unreal, and we are continuing with our project. Um, Check my lecturer, and it's all good to stream this development process, the learning curve. So it's all good. So my first solo project, quite a big one to be honest. We've got a I've basically got a list of all of the things I need to include um, in the game. So, simple mechanics, interactable objects and things. So, what I'm going to do is, I think, let's have a look here. Simple design level. Right. So I think what we should do is, I think it was the traps. So the traps are basically where you hit a trigger point, and then what happens is as the player passes it, something falls down. Quite simple. So I'm just going to get up a document. Okay, so this is gonna be related to the actors. So what we're going to do, we've got our template here. So this is the first person template. Um, and then we're going to place an actor. So from the place actors up here, you're going to have to bear with me guys because I can't really see the chat at the minute, so I will respond to any questions. Um, there we go. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to put a plane on the floor. But I'm wondering instead of that, because that's a static mesh. So if we put that in there, static mesh actor, I'm wondering if I can replace that with an asset that I have, which is low poly nature, and it will be environment, and it will be trees, tree branches, because essentially what we're going to have is like a trap. So the player steps on it and then boom, something falls on them. So I'm going to see if what I can do, I'm just going to try and find a nice suitable one. Tree logs. Oh, this is perfect for what I need for my project. Withered trees? No. Let's just go for tree branches, guys. So we're going to use 2 here. Oh my god, that's huge. That's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Okay, so we want to, no, we don't want to do the axis. We want to, no, there we go. Okay, it's too large, so we're going to click the padlock, and then that will adjust all scales relatively. So I'm going to have that like that. And then I'm going to drop another one on top. We'll set the scale of that one as well to this one. And then the rotation, not that one, not that one. Ah, that's annoying. We'll just do like that. And scale it down. We're going to just move that here like this. And then, to stick them together, we're just going to drag that on there. And then, we should be able... So if I move this, it all moves together, see? So now, we've combined two different assets into one. Like they're different assets, but this is the parent and then this is the child. See here, it's like indented slightly. So I'm just going to adjust the scale of that one. It's just a little bit too big. Just going to move it back that way a little bit. There we go. So this is representing the trap that the player steps on and then triggers something to fall. And then if we just test that, there it is. We can walk over it. And like, oh, sticks. Boom. And something falls on their head. All right, so we've got our object. So now what we need to do, we need to, I'm just following a little tutorial from university for this. Just bear with me, guys. Right, so now we've got to go to the content browser, which is here. We have the content drawer, content browser. So I wonder, can I put that next to there? There we go, so we've got play sectors, content browser, perfect. Okay, right, so what we're going to do is select blueprint class, add blueprint class. Let me just actually, I'm just going to rename this asset. So it's static mesh underscore tree branch. So I'm going to call this, I wonder if you can actually merge those. Can you merge them? It'd be cool if you could like merge it into one like static mesh instead of having two like that. You know how Photoshop has the ability to merge layers into one and then you don't have all the additional ones. That's something we could look into at a later date. So we're going to rename this as static mesh and we'll call it rockfall, because the intention is it drops a rock on you when you walk over it. Okay, so that is called rockfall. Okay, right, so add blueprint class, select actor. Okay, so now we've done that. Oh, right, it's here, it's just here. Call this new actor blueprint. Right, I'm going to call this blueprint underscore rockfall. So it's all linking together. So SM for static mesh rockfall, BP underscore rockfall for blueprint rockfall. So when we're searching for that file, both the static mesh and the blueprint will show up. Okay, the icon for this blueprint should change. Yep. Okay. Right, okay. So we've got double click on this. And here we have it, guys. This is the viewport for the rockfall. So I'm actually going to drag this up here. So instead of that being a pop-out menu, I can just click between these tabs here, which is a lot more convenient. So that, I think, is the starting point. Right, so in this the step-by-step I'm following, it's saying we drag a sphere from the place actors. But I don't want a sphere, I want a rock. So I'm going to bring up my content drawer. Content drawer. I always say drawer, it's really annoying. Bear with me. Right, meshes, environment. Now I want a nasty rock to fall on the character, so what have we got here? I quite like the shape of this one. Alright, so what we do is we just drag this into there, and there we have it. There we have our rock, guys. You see that? That is a big old boulder. I'm just going to slow down the speed of the camera movement. There we go. That's a lot better. 0.2. Okay. Right. So on the components, bear with me. So we've got the variable transform sockets. Components. Ah, it's up here. Add component. Sorry. Add component. We need box collision. I'm just going to type in box collision. Okay, so we put in box collision. There we go. Now we've got this big old box. So we don't want this to be over, we don't want the rock to be over the box. So what we're going to do is we're going to just move, oh, the rock. Why is that? Oh, there we go. Okay. That's interesting. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to move the rock up there and across. No, hold on. Right, so if I move that up and then across, and if I click on the box and move that down. So if we zoom in, you can actually see. It's very large as well. We don't think we want it that large. So that's a rough kind of thing there. Right, so we need to have this selected, this invisible box, and on this menu on the right hand side, we're looking for collision. Can character step up on? We want to say yes. And then we have to change the collisions preset to custom, query only, no physical collision. And then we've got these checkboxes here, and then we need to tick in the ignore on all of those. And then where it says pawn, we'll do overlap. So basically when something comes into contact and overlaps the box, that's the trigger. And then we click compile at the top here. And then we need to go into the blueprints. So this box, click on the box, and I think it's the event graph. Yeah, the event graph. So this is the construction script. Don't think we touched that script. I think that might be coding, not sure. So this is the event graph for Blueprint Rockfall. Okay, so now what we need to do, we're not going to touch these nodes. We're going to so we need on component begin overlap. Okay, so then we get this box here. And then what we need to do is drag this. If we type in physics, we need to set simulate physics. And look, that's interesting actually. I think you click Alt, there we go. If I actually delete that, watch what happened there. So if we do set simulate, so if we just do that box, it does a box, right? But we don't want a box. What we want is the set simulate physics, so it knows the static mesh, the rockfall, is what's going to happen. All right, and click simulate, and then we compile and save. And now what we do is we can go into here and we need to find, should be in here. Actually, no, we go content browser, content, oh, I want to do blueprints. Okay, so we're looking for Rockfall. If I put in Rockfall, there we go. There's our blueprint. So just remember the naming that I've been doing. So we've got SM Rockfall for static mesh Rockfall, and then BP Rockfall is for blueprint Rockfall. So now what I can do is I can drag that into the environment, right? And you can see what's happened there. Just like in this environment, in the viewport, you can see we have quite a large box, and then the rock isn't actually that large. but we can adjust the size of that. So we know roughly how big the rock's going to be. Now that's not a big rock. That box is kind of just about the right size. I kind of want to make the box a little bit smaller. So essentially, hold on, let me just get that right. It looks, is that touching the floor? No, it's one off. Now it's touching the floor. Okay. Right, so now what we need to do, essentially the player starts that gamepad, and then they would turn this direction, they walk here. So what we need to do, we need to rotate the rock around. So if we click this one and then do the blue, we can actually just change it. Hold on. 90 degrees. Okay. So we turn the box 90 degrees. So it's not going to fall directly on the player. That cube's pretty much, I think I'm going to shrink the cube and basically, because if you stand on a trap, you don't want the very edge of the stick to initiate the trap. You kind of want the player to be right in the middle of the trap. So we're going to shrink the cube a little bit, just a little bit. So it's kind of, in here. And we have to be considerate of the player. Like if they know that it's a hazard, then they might think to jump over it. So if that cube is too big and the player does actually jump over it but still triggers the trap, that's not going to be fair. So we need to be a bit thoughtful about that. So what I'm going to do, I'm first off going to enlarge the rock. So if I set the scale, make it a bit bigger. I need to move the position of this. I've got that? Yeah, I do. Okay. Okay, so we can shrink that size of that. I'll bring that up and bring it this way. Whoa, cursor's a little bit fast there. Okay, so we're going to bring it up. Location, x-axis. No, that's the y, z-axis. Just make sure that is pretty much on the thing. And if we go click compile, there we go. You can see that rock is a lot bigger now. But it's too. We want to adjust. What we want to do is adjust this without adjusting the trigger box. I'm just wondering if I took that off. Right, so what's happening, we can resize the box, but because this is the parent, what's happening is when we adjust the size of the rock, it's making the box bigger. We don't want the box to be bigger. That's why the size of that is getting adjusted. So is there a way? I'm gonna copy the box. I'm gonna copy the box and I'm gonna delete that. Right, and I'm actually just gonna, I'll be able to resize this quickly. And location, so we make that go that way and that go that way, and then we click compile. Still a little bit to just do that. Right now I should be able to click paste. Oh, fucking hell. What am I doing? There we go. Okay, click compile. Where's that box? Oh my god, the box is so small. Okay, the box is too small. That's not a problem. What we'll do is we'll just increase the size of that. What we can actually do, we can actually take that off. You see it unlinked it, and then we can actually adjust the size individually, which is what I wanted to do. We'll move that up, move that way, and if we click compile, and we can see here, right, so we can see as we're adjusting the rockfall, um, that's roughly in the position I actually wanted the um, the rock to be. So it's kind of like, obviously I'm going to have that kind of concealed. I might actually make that a little bit higher, actually. Give me 1 second. So if I just make the Z axis go, no, wrong one, sorry. The rock, I'll make the rock go up a little bit more. If I just make it go even higher. Yeah, you can see, if I actually just take that off, you'll be able to see what's happening here, guys. So look, if this is the height, so you can see we've got the blueprint window up for the rockfall. So I can actually, this is a much better way of doing it. It's just, you know, we're quite limited to screen space here because I'm doing it all on one screen, so you guys can see what's going on. So it's not a problem. So let's just get our positioning right, and then we can do the other stuff. So I'm pretty happy with that height. We basically want it to fall on the player. That's about central, isn't it? Okay. So now, before we relink these to be parent and child, we're going to get the box in position. So we're going to use the different colors. So the blue is the x-axis. We're going to move this along. And remember I was saying that I didn't, like, wherever we put this box is basically wherever the trigger point is going to be. So, oh, that's interesting. It seems to be moving the rock. I wonder why. That's still fine for me. I'm happy with that. Right, so these aren't linked. Let me just double check. They shouldn't. No, they're not linked. Okay, that's good. Right, so we just want to make sure we've got the trigger point right. So I'm happy with that size. We're going to put that just in the middle. So the moment you step on that tramp, right in the center, like, it's going to trigger the rock to fall. Okay. So now we go back into the rockfall, and then we apply the box collision to be a child of the rockfall, which is the parent. Okay. So now that we've got that in place, we're just going to click compile again, and we're just going to save the project. And let me just check I've done this correctly. So we click play. Boom. Oh, that's cool. It worked. It's so cool. It's so simple but so cool. Right, so we go around. Big rocks. Oh, look, there's some inconspicuous twigs on the floor. What's this? Uh-oh. And you can see, like, you can actually test this. We just click play again. So we just come up to it. And like you can see, we're not actually, according to our camera, it doesn't look like we're actually contacting the twig. And you can remember, guys, if we literally go on here, you can actually see where the box is. And the box is literally, it's not even here. You would think if you're on the edge of here, it wouldn't activate, but it's actually perfect. So I'm just gonna show you again. Player starts, player comes close to the twig, boom, rockfall, and that is exactly what I wanted to happen. So if we can polish this up a little bit, if I go into the rock now, the pretty sure there is a texture for that. I can't remember actually. Was there a texture for that one? No, it was actually that color. Hold on. I don't want the blueprint class. I want to reset the filters and rockfall. That's the rockfall trap. It's the blueprint for the rockfall. Actor. No. Browse to asset. There we go. Right, so that's the blueprint, but I want to see if I can find the mesh in the project. And what we can do actually, we can just go in here and we can see static mesh rockfall D. So if I should be able to copy that, and I can just double check under the asset. No. If I just delete that out actually. Oh, fuck me. Why is that not showing up? SM rock small D. I'm just going to type in rock small D. There it is. So if I just compare, it is literally that color, guys. You see, if we just pull this one out here, we see the window there. You see that? So this is, yeah, that is definitely that color. Cool. That's exactly what I wanted to see. So we have our pitfall. Not pitfall, sorry. It's just like a little trigger trap. Boom. That's so cool. I love physics like that, where it's just you enable gravity and it's like, let's just do it again. And if we just actually watch up when that happens. It's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. Okay, so we've simulated one of the traps for the project that I'm doing, which is cool. So now, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to expand this area. I'll save the project. So I'm actually going to see if I can duplicate the floor. And if you hold Alt and D, you should be able to drag. Now, I want to basically copy these ones. So the floor and the three walls. And if you hold Alt and just drag, that is exactly what I wanted to happen. And then we should be able to delete the middle thing, and boom! There we have a much bigger arena. Now I'm just going to try and, I think if you press, I think it was end. Is it end? Or return? Oh, oh, what have I just done? No, I don't want to do that. Let me just figure this out. Is there a way? Snap object to view, snap view. We don't want to snap the view, we want to snap it. Snap. I don't know if that's functioning correctly. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about the noise in the background, if you can hear it. Right, what am I doing? A little bit of a puff, a little bit of a coffee. So what I wanted to do, I wanted this bit to snap to the closest point. So it's on the same level. Now what I can do is I can get this red x-axis. Oh no, it's moving it. We just want it to snap. There must be a way. Snapping. Snap to floor. Align to floor. There we go, we've done it. Oh my god. Okay, so now we have expanded our area. Now the reason I've done it is because I want to, what do I need to test out now? So we've got the physics, the collision box done for our trap here. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to construct a shack, because then we're going to be figuring out doors, buttons, animating that process. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, and if I just save, I'm going to close the blueprint rockfall. We're just going to test out. So there's our pitfall, and as you can see, we've got a bigger area here. Now, I needed an asset for like a shack for the assignment that I've got. So I couldn't find a free asset, so I'm going to have to makeshift a shack out of the assets I have. So if I bring up, I'm just going to save it again, and if I just close the step by step I had for that trigger fall. So the next one we're going to be doing, guys, is opening an animated door. Alright, so it's going to be the same kind of thing. It's going to have like this collision box, player steps on it, door opens. Okay, so first we need to construct our shack. Now I have some assets, which is, I think it was Old West meshes. Now, I've got a few different packs. I'm not sure if it's this one. Should have been that one. Why is it not in there? It was literally... Why? That's annoying. Why is that not there? Meshes. Holy cow, that's huge. Oh my god. That is huge. Right, we don't want that. I installed it to the project. Why is it not there? Animal Ancient Treasures. Fantasy Village Pack. First person weapon. Level prototyping. Old West. Yeah, I'm sure it was in the Old West. I'm just wondering if the reason it's not there is if I bring up my library. What was it? I think it was this one. See? Because basically in here, this is what I was going to do. Because I literally, it's really annoying. I don't have a structure to make the shack. I'm literally having to piece it together. So this set, it actually had, you see here, it's got these panels. I intended on essentially just kind of putting a load of these panels together to create a simple frame, and then when it comes to the top, just flip them over for the roof. A very simple shack. And then we have the door here. I'm not sure if this was the one actually. So that was Town and into that's the one we've got installed. I think it might have been this one actually. I'm getting confused because I spent about 2 hours last night looking through assets, and I had a plan. Town props is the one I don't have. Well, I did click add to project, hence why there's this cache size showing up. So this is the stuff we're going to use for the interior. So you see it's called Old West Volume 1. I think that might be why it's conflicting, but you'd think, you see here it says Volume 1, you'd think it would have like a folder for Vol 2, Vol 6 and so on and so forth. But it doesn't for some reason. Now how was I going to construct it? Because I'm sure I was going to do it here because you had this door frame, and I remember when I was looking through this yesterday, there was like an option. There we go. Oh, actually, no. Nanite high mesh resolution meshes. It is this one that I need. So it's going to be slightly out of place to the low poly style I've got for the overall game, but that's not a problem. So this is the one that I need. This is volume 6. So oh, now it's showing up. Well, that's annoying. What? Right. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so now, um, players start. What we need, we need to know how big. Bear with me. What we need a reference for how big our character is, and then we can create the building so that they're actually able to walk in there. So this property box here, hmm, doesn't really say how big it is, does it? There should be a mani. I think if we go to all and click mani. Oh, okay. I'm going to rename this SK for skeletal SK. Oh, right, I'm just going to call this size reference. Size ref, so we know, like, roughly, you know, we know roughly how big he is in scale to the house. So now that we've got that there, what we're going to do is create our shack. So I can. No, we don't want you up there. Where is your? I want to go all. Okay. Right. So we get rid of that. We go content Old West Volume 6, my lovely, and it's meshes. And I'm just going to make this larger if I can. Right, so these are all of our meshes. So we need a wooden panel that looks like the exterior. So we've got shutters. So I know these are all shutters, like, you know, window shutters, but I don't see any harm in using it to what is it? Use it as like a door frame. So we'll get that down there. Oh, it's got hinges on it. Oh, is that gonna look right if it's got hinges? Ah, does it? Does it matter? Kind of. Kinda does. You'd think in this pack there would like just be like a wooden like fence thing, and we've got chimneys, so you know that's all good. Um, we've got the doors, so I think looking at these two, you see the labelling here. You've got SM door NN06A and then NN06B and NN06C. You can see, just looking at these three things here, you can see that this is the physical door, this is the door frame, and then this model is the door frame with the door inside it. So we know that we're going to need these two objects to create the door animation. So I'm just going to shrink this down. We're going to put this in there, and that one in there. And these are quite high res meshes, so this is why. There we go. Okay, so now there we go. We have our door. How cool is that? Okay, and then what we want to do, we want to move that back so it's in line. Now, as I said, I don't have an asset. Oh, dude. It's so cool. It's so simple. It's so the thing is, like doing game dev, you just you know you assume you just you don't think of these little things, what goes into them. It's such a simple design, and look, it's even got a padlock on it. I mean, I don't know if that's a problem actually. Hold on, let me just test something. So if I click this one, I think it's the blue. Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, see, the door opens like that. Okay, all right, that's not a problem. I'm not too bothered about the padlock. It's an asset we've got to work with, so you know, it is what it is. I can't remove that padlock, but you know, it's fine. It's literally fine. Right, so we have our door frame. So now, because we don't have the similar style assets for creating this, well, whilst we're here, actually, we're gonna take. What is this? That is a big chimney stack. Look at this. We want like a simple thing just to stick out of the roof. So I think something like chimney set, that one might do the job. So perfect. Okay. Right, so now we have our chimney stack. It's a little bit too big, so I'm just going to scale that down. And we'll click on this one here, and we're just going to shift this out of the way. Okay, so now we're going to go into our content drawer, and I'm just going to shrink this down. And we're going, so this is the overall asset pack that I'm going for. This is the low poly nature one. No, it's not actually. No, sorry. I got a new one last night, which was Fantastic Village Pack. Let's build. Oh no, we don't want that. Meshes, buildings. Okay, so this is a really beautiful. I'm a big fan of the low poly styles. So you can see here we've got all these different assets. Got absolutely loads to play with. There is also a chimney stack here if we wanted, but the only thing we're going to be extracting from this, which isn't in there. That's the wood panels. Maybe I was in the wrong section. Environment? Props. Would it be construction? Maybe. Hmm. Um, what looks more like a side of a building? I mean, to be fair, this could do. It's literally four sides, isn't it? So, I mean, that would do. I know it's a fence, but that could still, you enlarge that. It can still kind of act as like a side of a hut. Do you see what I mean about the text, the difference, the difference in art style? You can see it's completely different. Like this is a high res. Look at how detailed that is, and then we've got this. But it's fine. This is what we've got to work with. As a designer, you're not the artist. You're not expected to make 3D models. Like you're meant to prototype your game ideas. So it's absolutely fine. It's just a little bit comical, right? So the scale, we basically want this to be about the same height. That looks acceptable. And we basically want the room to be big enough because we need to have a table in there. We need to have a couple of props, so it can't be too small. And also we need to make sure the player can fit through the door when the door opens. So if needs be, if I multiple select those, and if I just increase the scale, why is that not letting me? I'll tell you what we'll do. If I just click 2. Oh, damn, that's a bit too high. Actually, I've got an idea. If I do 1.5, it's kind of going to be like a giant store. I don't want it to be, I want it to be, you can see what I did here. On the left, we've got the 2 mannequin arms. I've literally got that for scale reference. So if I put 1.5, we don't want it to be too high though. I think 1.3 is a good height. If I just change the width, so we've got 1.3. If I just change that to 1.3 as well, 1.3, and then if we just widen the door, it might look a bit strange, but we untick that now, 1.3. Oh no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. It's the 1.3. Okay. So if I make this 1.5 and maybe 1.6, and there we have it. We have a door that should hopefully be wide enough. Now what we can do, we can actually test this. If I just quickly flip this to that, which should be 90 degrees. Yeah, that's 90 degrees. So if we click play, watch out for the trap. And if I go through here, I can see if I can fit through the door frame, which I can't. So we know that we need to make that. I wonder if that's because it's not passable. I think I know how to do that. I think it would be under here. I'm just going to test this because I'm wondering why that's not allowing me to pass through. I just want to make sure I can pass through the door, guys. No, even though that is definitely wide enough. You can see that's wide enough. Why is that? Right, this is something I need to figure out. Bear with me, guys. Can character step up on? You know what? I'm just going to move the player start because it's quite annoying having to run all the way over there. So I'm just going to move this over. No, just move this over here. See, that is an open space. You'd think we'd be able to pass through that. It's definitely not the chimney. Chimney's not the problem. Door's not the problem because the door's open. So why? Why? What I'm doing here is I'm just adjusting the angle. There we go. Okay, so I've got the test environment there. Right, we need to figure out why we can't pass through this. Yes! I figured it out! Yes! Oh my goddamn genius. Oh, I did it. Do you see what I did there? Right, so it's basically on the collision presets, by default, it said, I don't know, I think it was just default. I literally went in and did custom. And there we have it. We have solved our first problem. Oh, I've got a smile on my face that you can't see. Now what we can do, now that we've figured that problem out, we can now go back and reduce the size and test it until it's a suitable thing. Now what would be good is if we just duplicate this. I'm actually just going to get these three assets and just shift them this way. And because what I'm going to do is I'm going to place, I just want to make scale. No, we don't want to make that. If I set that scale, I want to make sure that it's about the same height. Location, it's going to be like that. The height is pretty much right. That's about right, isn't it, guys? Tiny little bit of overlap there with the frame, but you can barely notice that, to be honest. So if I do that as -1 4 90, -1 4 90, -4 90, if I do 90, very small precision adjustments. There you go, you can see. There, it's perfect. Okay. I'm very happy with that height, it looks reasonable. So now what we do is we hold Alt and D and just drag. And we can put one on the other side just like that. Okay, and you can see it's just tiny, overlapping just a tiny bit. So what we'll do is, yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, right, and then we can just test that. And there you go, you can see we're not physically touching the frame, but we're able to pass through the door. We are able to pass through the door. Right, let's put the other boundaries on. Now, we don't want this to be... Oh, what's happened there? Guys, I'm sorry, it looks like I had a screen on and... oh no! Oh, I don't believe it. I think I must have pressed the button on the number pad and... what a silly sausage. I think I've just... I don't even know if you guys would have seen what I was doing. That is such a shame. Not a problem, not a problem. That's my fault. Right, I'll just show you guys because you've... I don't know if you saw everything I was just doing. So we have two sides. We have a passable door frame, so we can go through it. Yeah. So now I think what would be good is if I put in the prop for the table, and then we can just kind of flesh out the interior a little bit. We need a floor, so let's just see if this pack has, I don't know, like a floor or something. Just a simple floor. This I was going to use for the fishing jetty. That might be quite good actually. Control space. Okay, so I need to adjust the rotation, so click on that. 90. And then just put that. That actually fits perfectly. We had the foundations. And what I can do is I can just see how large this one is. Right, so if I do this one, and then what I wanted to do, where's that? Oh, the chimney's there, okay. Select these objects, and then we want to raise them. That actually looks pretty decent, actually. Doesn't look like there's a gap there. Oh, there's the tiniest gap. Okay, I do think we have to raise these up though. And that is spot on. Spot on. That almost needs to be minus 925. Oh, this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. Why do I get the feeling that's not lined up? I kind of do want them to be lined up, but it has the foundations which look good. I think we'll just stick with what we've got. It looks good. Okay, let's get back to it, guys. I just want to quickly test that I can actually walk up the stairs. Alright, that's a tiny bit of a problem, isn't it? Okay, right. Slight change then. Let's delete the stairs and just see if our player can. Yes, they can jump up. That's perfect. Okay, so on that basis, I will just slightly, I'll just get these assets. 1, 2, 3. We're just gonna bring them down. So that is much better. Okay. And a way that we can make it so we don't have to jump in is we can slightly sculpt the terrain so that, you know, it works good. Okay, so let's save the project. And this is a big old shack. Oh my god. That's a good size though. I think a square room is a good size. You don't want it to be too big. After all, it is a shack. So I need that to be minus 1685. 1685. 685. Okay. Right. So we just need to get this one on that side. I mean, technically, we can close that gap even more. It actually doesn't look as bad as I thought. There we go. There's our shack. It's a little love shack. Right, so now what we need to do, we need to duplicate this side. What's going to be interesting is the other side. I'm just wondering, let me just save the project. Always save your projects, guys. I'm just going to see if we've got a similar style prop for a window, just so we can have a little bit of light coming in, maybe. I doubt there will be one on this. I doubt it. Let's have a look. So we're using that one. Construction light. Oh, we've definitely got to have a lantern hanging outside. They've got the brazier as well. I think that's got to go in, hasn't it? Let's be honest. I wonder if we can animate. Okay, that's not a problem. Right. I need the street lamp here. what we need to do is get these door frames adjusted. So we're going to take that, copy that, and we're going to get the rotation. It'll be 90 degrees, and then get this, move it that side, and move that back there. And then we'll just move that one side there. That looks pretty damn good. I'm happy with that. Now, I don't mind, as you can see, we're working with what we've got here, guys. Oh, that is perfect. Can you see that actually looks like it's an exact, almost an exact match? And it fits perfectly on the side. That is just amazing. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to duplicate this wall here. We're going to move this down here. And then we're going to get the rotation tool and we're going to give it a 180. Perfect. And again, it's overhanging the flooring, so we're going to move this in line with that pillar. I think that's about right. Doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, we are the designers, we are not the artists. Oh, it's perfect. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this one. Bring that to about there. Duplicate one more. That, oh my god. And then what we should be able to do is duplicate these and then rotate 180 and it should fit in perfectly. Like so. Put that back on there. Move that across like that. Oh, actually, no, it was slightly different that end, wasn't it? It was more like that. And there we have our hut. Oh, that is perfect. Oh my god, I made this. Well, I didn't make the assets, but I designed the frame. Oh, that is so cool, dude. Look at that. It looks realistic as well. Like you got the beams, the floor. Oh, I just love that art style. I love low poly. I love it. Right, so now what we need to do is put a roof on the top. So how am I going to do the roof? Because I don't have the assets for a roof, so I need to figure this out. Oh, I'm very happy with that. Oh, that's it. I wanted to add like a window, didn't I? Now, it'd be good to have some kind of like hearth or something inside there. No, actually, no, it wouldn't. No. The light should theoretically, the light should shine through all of these gaps, creating a really, really cool atmospheric lighting inside the shack. Let's have a look for some roof materials. Deco. Oh, look at that. Look, we've got all of this stuff here. That's the scroll for the table for players to interact with. What is that? Oh, it's a basket. Got a bucket. I wonder if there's any roofing materials in here. See, what would have been great is if we could have had a window, but I don't think I'll be able to overlap it. I'm new to this, so I don't want to mess anything up. That kind of looks like a roof. What is that? I'll tell you what. That actually looks like a roof frame. Let me just see if that would be suitable. I tell you, that looks that almost looks like a perfect fit. Is this going to be another one-shot wonder? I wonder. Let's just make sure the alignment's correct. Is it the same height? Slightly too high. Is that in line? Pretty much. You know what? That is pretty damn close. Okay, we've got enough room here to play with the scale. Oh my god, it's gonna fit. It's gonna fit. It might actually just fit. Oh my god, I think. Oh my god, and look, it fits with the door frame as well. Oh my god, this is just too good to be true at the minute. Right, so now, moment of truth. Save, duplicate, rotate, 180. Moment of truth. Here we go, guys. It's the moment of truth. Oh my god. Oh my god. It fits. There's just a tiny little gap on that side. So, okay, how... Okay, and that's in the door frame. We don't want that in the door frame. So how are we going to do this, Mike? Well, I think what we could possibly do, if we was to move that there, is that overlapping with that? You wouldn't tell, would you? You would not be able to tell. Oh my god. No way. Have I done it? I'm not sure if that matches the look. Would you have metal with wood or would you have stone with wood? It wouldn't make sense to have stone with a wooden shack. Why would you do that? If you did, you would have had the whole house of stone. I think that's good. Next. I don't think that's a suitable prop. So let's just go back to mesh. Build it, no. Mesh, environment, no. Hmm. What one would you have? Quite like that one, you know. The lantern. I like the slightly inverted thing here. So so that needs to be 1965. Perfect. Save, play. Oh, look at this. Look at all the lighting coming through as well. This is perfect. And then we've got our trap over here. Watch the trap. Boom. Dead. Okay. I'm very happy I've created the shack. Let's quickly kit it out. So we're going to put a table in the middle. Um, what can I do? Now, how many different roofs have we got here? I think we've got quite a few, haven't we? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. I'm just going to temporarily turn those invisible. And can I group those? Okay, so if you group them, you can ungroup them. Why won't they let me rename them? Why? Ungroup. Okay, I'll just temporarily group it, and then we'll just hide it. And the reason we're doing that is so we can see inside while we're flashing out the furniture. So we need a table, guys. Props. Would it be deco? Furniture. There we go. Quite like this table. Oh, why is it just done two? Right, want two. Okay. So If you're walking into your house, where would you put the table? I would have it against the wall if it was me. I would have it against the wall. You don't want to walk straight into a room and boom, there's a table. So we're going to make the scale. We don't want it to be too crazy big. Oh, let me just slow down the camera speed. Okay, that's a little bit too big. So I'm going to just shrink it down. That looks a lot better. So I'm going to move this over here against the wall. I think that's a good spot. What else would you have in the room? What else would you have in the room? I'll tell you what, let's put down the essentials. We needed the scroll. The scroll is going to be a player interactive. It's going to be a key item for the game. Perfect. And there's the scroll. Is it too close into the table? We need the player to be able to reach it. That's perfect. Okay, so then we need to have a couple of props. I'm hoping. Yes, we do. We have a couple of props. Let's put on a beer. Why has it done it again? I just want one. Rotate that slightly. Okay, and then I'm actually going to rotate it because I want it to be a little bit realistic. So if you're a fisherman living all alone, you'd be a bit of a dirty one, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be too tidy. So some wooden plates would fit. Or maybe I'll go for metal. We'll make the scale of that a little bit bigger. Rotation. We need that to be so I need to, let's try 165. And then we could have, there was a knife I saw. What's the difference here? Oh, that's a bloody meat cleaver. Jesus. It's not. Why have they called that knife? Oh, that's much better. Okay. All right, we need some food to go on there. Props, food. What is that? Is that a hot dog? Coconut. I think it'd be good to have some, maybe a loaf of bread and cheese on there. I was gonna have like meat as health for recovering health. Oh, pork chops. Is that pork chops? Is that bacon? I think that's bacon. Is that potato? Okay. Once I've got this all fleshed out, it's just gonna look brilliant. You go in there. Oh, so exciting. So exciting. Um, I think it'd be good to have a bowl. Did it even go in there? Let's delete that. I wanted that to go on the table. There we go. It's a tiny bit small, isn't it? So let's just make the scale of that a little bit bigger. That's a big old bowl. I don't want it to be too big. Okay, so let's put a tiny, just one or two food items on the plates. You don't want something that's gonna look like it's gone off. No, you wouldn't have a full loaf, would you? It'd be the remains of a loaf. So, no, we don't want the slice. Hold on, why is the knife? What is that? A carrot? Chili. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh gosh, so it's such a beautiful art style. It really, really is beautiful. Natural. Container. Deco. Right, I think the cheese would be good. QWER. Oh, that's so much better. Right, okay. QWE. Not really. Cheese. Uh, Bit too high. So need it to be 175, I think. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so we've got our bread and cheese. Might be nice to have just an apple or two on the table. Is that pepper? Oh, it's a bell pepper. Apple. Now, if you just plonk them all straight on, you know, all in the same position, it's not going to be, it's just going to be a bit lazy, really, isn't it? So by just slightly adjusting the angles, making them look a bit natural, like, you know, just a bit more, just a bit more pleasant. What is the, so 1665, I think, maybe. Might be a bit too far for do 5, but we'll see. Micro adjustments. Okay, so we'll do 7. No, we'll do 3. Oh, we can do one more. 2. Perfect. And I'm not happy with it just being too close, so I'm just gonna, so that could be 1615, 1615, 1615. Perfect. Okay, we've got 2 apples, we've got jug, we've got 2 plates, food items. I'm quite happy with that as a table. Let's just save and test. Okay. Look at that. Now, what would be amazing is if the light was shining on that scroll. Now, I think there is a way I can do that. Ugh. Oh, it's not unlit. It's lit. Cinematic viewport. Default viewport. Oh, I think I know why I'm not seeing the light. It's because in the edit suite, I've obviously disabled the right. Right, let's finish just fleshing out this room quickly. So we've got a table. Let's put in a bed. I'm hoping there's a bed. It might be good. I did see a barrel. Let's put I don't know, a crate. We just have a crate in here, guys. Make the scale. And then what I can do is I can just duplicate that and adjust the rotation. Actually, I don't want the exact identical one. I'd like to have. And then I'm going to put a barrel just in the corner. It's a really small barrel. What is that? Is that money or potatoes? Okay, we've got the table. Oh, it would be good to have a chair. Let's just make sure it looks like it is roughly the right size so it doesn't look out of place. Is that enough leg room? Okay, that's good. Right, so now we just reduce the camera speed. Okay. Now we can bring that out. And rotate it slightly.